Hello there, I'm Jeff Sorensen, and these are my helpful hints for on-song international musicians who have a hard time coming up with lyrics to go with the compositions. Some of you start with the lyrics and then put them to music. My methods might not help you out much, but for those of you who start with the music and a theme but have a hard time coming up with the lyrics, these hints might just help you out. I'll tell you the methods I use, and maybe some variation of my methods might work for you. Since my goal is to make composers and singers happy, and I have my own career, my site is not monetized and I produce lyrics just for the fun of it. I begin by finding an original musical piece on YouTube that I like and that does not already have lyrics. I try to determine from the title and comments the composer's intent and the feelings they're trying to convey. Regardless of the style or title, I have to like it myself and agree with its intended message before I proceed. I also avoid writing music for composers whose other work is designed to be offensive or promote things I feel are morally wrong. Once I've decided I like the music and the composer and I want to provide lyrics, I download it as an MP3 file so that I can insert it into Movie Maker. Movie Maker is a free program from Microsoft that allows me to insert text slides in time with recorded MP3 music. Since the song is still the property of the composer, I provide lyrics in plain black and white slides so that the composer can decide if they like the lyrics and want to use them without them feeling that I'm trying to compete at all with their own posted video or trying to take away their subscribers. I begin each video with a slide that states who the composer is, the music's title, and words to show that I'm only proposing lyrics to be used with their music. When I post the lyrics, I also provide a link to the original composition. When I'm done, I post a comment in the composer's site to ensure that they know that I have proposed lyrics to the music, that the lyrics are theirs if they want them and like them, and to make sure that they know that they can modify them freely if they choose to use them. To begin developing the lyrics, I listen for a strong melody line in the music to follow and its sentence structure. If you've never thought about it, music has a sentence structure just as unsung verbal languages do. When we speak, we pause for breaths, raise or lower our voices for various phrases, and pause at the end of sentences. I time the slides to coincide with the beginning and ends of musical sentences and phrases. This karaoke-style presentation guides people who are familiar with the music to understand where the lyrics fit, which is most quickly and easily understood by the composers themselves. Then I listen to the music a couple times to get its emotional feel. Where are the happy or sad portions of the song? Where would determined or strong phrases fit, and where would questioning words belong? Where can I fit words of the song title provided by the composer within the song? Does the music tell a story from the beginning to end, or provide a feeling that is best developed in a repeated chorus or use of repetitive words? Based on the title or theme provided by the composer, where would the best places in the song be to make these points? Assuming that I'm taking the listener on a journey through the song, where's a good place to set up the mental scene, and where do I want the listener to end up thinking or feeling by the end of the song? Then I start filling out the words, one slide at a time, repeating the music of the slide over and over again until I find words that fit naturally into place. Sometimes I try to come up with the words for the last few slides first, just to ensure that I get the listener where I want them to be at the end of the song. When the right words do not come right away, I use a trick. I ignore the theme for the minute and just think of random words that just seem to fit the music. Once I've written down the words that fit, I look for other words that might have the same number of syllables or intonation and emphasize the random words that I came up with that fit the theme. Once I think I have the right words for a slide or two, I move on. I prefer the lyrics to have a rhyme scheme like a poem. When I cannot think of a good rhyming words, I go to a site on the internet called Rhyme Zone, which is a free site that provides rhyming words with any word you enter. You may need to play around with it a bit because sometimes the words you're trying to rhyme with have different pronunciation in other languages, or they're read differently depending on their sentence, like the words the and the, read and read. Unlike poetry, the words have to match the rhythms in the song so the lyrics will sound right when sung with the music. Consequently, they usually do not have the consistent rhythm of classical poetry and will not sound good when simply read. I also try to avoid words that peg the singer as male or female or that would make the subject of the song male or female. I want the song to be as universally applicable to the singer and audience as possible. I do not swear or use offensive words in my music because I choose not to use them myself and want people to enjoy the music without worrying about the age or religious or moral ethics of the audience. At some point, I will have made it through all the slides and it's time for fine-tuning. Here I try to listen to the music as a whole and the words and look for anything that seems out of place or awkward. Does it flow? Am I being too redundant or wordy? Have I left out something important that I intended to have in the song but was forgotten? Were there misspelled words or grammatical errors that needed correcting? By the way, after I post lyrics, some of these misspelled words and grammatical errors suddenly become quite evident to me, but I rarely go back and fix them since they can be adjusted by the composer anyway. Once I'm happy with it, I save it to Music Maker as an MP4 movie so that it can play on YouTube. I save it to my YouTube site along with a link to the composer's original music and post the location within a comment section for the composer on the composer's site. Then I wait. I save it. Most of the time, the composers say very nice things about the lyrics and love their composition, that their compositions have become a song that can be sung. Once in a while, I never hear from the composer. On a rare occasion, the composer will not completely like something about the lyrics, like I misunderstood the intent of the song or the words didn't seem to match their vision. When the composer gives me that kind of feedback, but want to work with me, I do my best to adjust the lyrics to make them happy, since it's still really their composition and I want them to be happy with it. I do find it sad that when one of these beautiful musical compositions are given lyrics that the composer loves, but they are not for song. Most musicians who post music on YouTube without lyrics are not singers themselves or do not consider themselves to be very good at singing. The composer and I can hear the music sung beautifully and in tune in our heads, but wouldn't it be much nicer to have those songs performed by some of you talented singers? So, on Song International Singers, here's my pitch to you to check out my channel, find a composer whose music fits your style and musical topic you like, and do some covers. The music and lyrics are already there, you just need to learn the song and sing it to pre-recorded music. I'd love to hear some of the songs finally sung and performed, and I'm sure the composers would love it too. Thanks for listening and collaborating on Song International.